Life Philosophies Unleashed.
Your thoughts aren't yours. I know that sounds dramatic, but think about it. How often do you stop and truly analyze your beliefs, your decisions, or even the things you want? Most of us are running on autopilot, convinced that we're in control. But the truth is far more unsettling. From the very first moment you opened your eyes in this world, you were pulled into their game. Who are they? Governments, corporations, media. They're not just influencing you. They've created a system so seamless, so intricate, that it programs your mind without you even noticing. Let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered why you keep scrolling endlessly through social media, buying things you don't need, or chasing goals that don't even make you happy? That's not a coincidence. That's programming. And no, this isn't science fiction. This is your life. They don't just manipulate what you see. They manipulate how you think, how you feel, and ultimately, how you live. They've been perfecting this art for centuries, using techniques that have evolved with technology, but never changed in essence. Here's the chilling part. Your subconscious mind, a part of your brain that makes 95% of your decisions, has been hacked. It doesn't argue, it doesn't question, it just absorbs. And what it's been absorbing are ideas, fears, and beliefs, planted there by forces that profit off your ignorance. But what if I told you that this doesn't have to be your reality? What if you could break free? What if you could reclaim your mind and rewrite your programming? This isn't just a pep talk, it's a wake-up call. In this video, I'm not just going to explain how they control you. I'm going to show you how to take back control. And let me warn you, once you see the strings, you can't unsee them. But with this awareness comes power. So, are you ready to unplug from the matrix? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change how you see the world, yourself, and everything in between. The silent programming of your subconscious. Think back to when you were a child. Do you remember how everything seemed so pure, so untainted by fear, rules, or doubts? You were a blank canvas, ready to paint the world with your imagination. But somewhere along the way, that canvas became cluttered with scribbles you didn't even draw. From fairy tales to bedtime stories, from the advice of well-meaning parents to the structured routines of school, every word you heard and every experience you had left its mark on your subconscious mind. But here's the thing, they weren't just shaping you. They were programming you. Let's talk about how this works. Between the ages of 0 and 7, your brain operates predominantly in theta wave dominance, a state akin to hypnosis. This is why children learn languages and behaviors so effortlessly. But this open state of absorption also makes them incredibly vulnerable to programming. Every story you were told, every rule you were taught, was absorbed without question. Think about those fairy tales. The big bad wolf will eat you if you stray from the path. The hero is rewarded for obedience, while rebels face doom. These weren't just stories, they were blueprints for compliance and fear. They conditioned you to avoid risk, trust authority, and stay within the boundaries society has drawn. And it doesn't stop there. Consider phrases like, be realistic, don't aim too high, or respect your elders no matter what. These weren't life lessons. They were chains designed to keep you small, compliant, and predictable. Now here's the kicker. This programming doesn't vanish as you grow older. Your subconscious mind clings to these early lessons like a sponge that never wrings itself out. That's why, as adults, so many of us hesitate to take risks, doubt our own abilities, or feel trapped in lives that don't even align with our true desires. And you know what? That's not your fault. You were never given the tools to question this programming. But here's the truth. What was programmed can be reprogrammed. Awareness is your first step toward breaking free, and it starts with recognizing that these beliefs were never truly yours to begin with. the hidden influence of media and society. Let's fast forward to today. You're scrolling through your phone, bombarded by headlines, ads, and notifications. You think you're in control of what you consume, but here's the reality. You're not. Every post you see, every headline you read, every product you consider buying, they've all been carefully curated to manipulate you. And the worst part? You don't even realize it's happening. Let me break it down. Have you ever noticed how your social media feed seems to know exactly what you're thinking about? You mention a new phone to a friend, and suddenly, ads for the latest models are flooding your screen. This isn't magic, it's manipulation. Algorithms are designed not just to predict your behavior, but to shape it. They create desires you didn't have, fears you never felt, and needs you didn't know existed. And then there's the news. Why do headlines always scream urgency? Breaking economic collapse imminent? Global crisis looms around the corner. Fear is their favorite weapon. When you're scared, your critical thinking shuts down, and your survival instincts kick in. That's when they swoop in with their solutions. Invest in this to secure your future. Vote for this leader to fix the crisis. It's a cycle of fear and dependency designed to keep you compliant. But it's not just the big things. Your subconscious is being shaped in the tiniest moments. Those 5-second glances at ads, the endless scroll of perfectly filtered images on Instagram, the autoplay feature on your favorite streaming service. It's all part of the same system. Every micro-interaction is another drop in the bucket, slowly but surely carving your subconscious mind into the shape they want. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Your attention is their currency. The more you give it away, the more control they have. Every click, every view, every like feeds the system. But the moment you start questioning, why am I seeing this? Who benefits from me believing this? The spell begins to break. It's time to take back control of your attention, and, with it, your mind. The science of subconscious manipulation. Let's talk about the subconscious mind, the silent puppet master controlling 95% of your daily thoughts, choices, and actions. It doesn't judge or analyze. It simply absorbs. And this, my friend, is the playground for governments, corporations, and media. They know your subconscious better than you do. They've studied it, experimented on it, and mastered the art of bending it to their will. The science is clear. Your subconscious is most impressionable when you're in a relaxed or repetitive state, watching TV, scrolling on your phone, or even daydreaming. Have you ever noticed how ads are louder than the shows you're watching? That's no accident. The sudden increase in volume snaps your subconscious out of its passive state, making it more receptive to their message. Here's where it gets darker. Subliminal messaging. You've probably heard about hidden messages in movies or ads. And while those are rare, the real danger lies in the obvious, what's right in front of you. Repetition is their weapon of choice. The more you hear or see something, the deeper it gets ingrained in your subconscious. Phrases like "act now" or "limited time offer" aren't just sales tactics, they're psychological triggers designed to create urgency and bypass your critical thinking. But it doesn't stop there. Sound frequencies play a huge role in manipulating your mental state. In 1939, the global standard for music tuning was shifted to 440 HD, a frequency that creates subtle stress and tension. Before that, the standard was 432 AZ, which aligns with the Earth's natural resonance and promotes harmony. Why the change? Because a stressed mind is easier to control. At 440 high Z, your body produces more cortisol, the stress hormone making you anxious, irritable, and, most importantly, suggestible. Think about it. Every jingle, every piece of background music in a store or commercial is tuned to grab your attention and prime your subconscious for action. Ever wondered why you suddenly crave fast food after hearing a catchy tune? That's not hunger, it's conditioning. Here's the takeaway. Your subconscious mind is a sponge, but it doesn't have to soak up everything. Once you recognize the techniques being used against you, you can start to filter what you allow in. Awareness is your shield. The next time you feel an impulse, whether it's fear, desire, or urgency, pause and ask yourself, who benefits from this reaction? That simple question can break the cycle of manipulation. Breaking free, reclaiming your mind. Now that you see the bars of your mental cage, let's talk about breaking free. The good news is that your subconscious, while programmable, isn't set in stone. It's like a whiteboard. You can erase the old programming and write a new script. But how do you start? By taking control of what goes into your mind. First, detox your inputs. Think of your mind as a garden. If you keep watering it with fear and negativity, be it from news, social media, or toxic relationships, you'll grow weeds. Start by limiting your exposure to fear-based content. Do you really need to watch the nightly news or scroll through endless doom-filled headlines? Instead, seek out content that uplifts and inspires you. Replace negativity with positivity and watch how your mental landscape begins to shift. Next, practice mindful awareness. Pay attention to your triggers. Every time you feel fear, anxiety, or urgency, pause. Ask yourself, is this feeling mine or is it being imposed on me? By simply questioning your reactions, you weaken their grip on your subconscious. Think of it as installing a mental firewall. Then, reprogram your subconscious. This isn't as complicated as it sounds. Use affirmations and visualization to replace old, limiting beliefs with empowering ones. For instance, instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am capable and deserving of success." Pair this with visualization. Picture yourself achieving your goals, feeling the emotions associated with success. Your subconscious can't tell the difference between imagination and reality. It will accept what you feed it. Disconnect from the noise. This is crucial. Spend time in nature, away from screens and constant notifications. Walk barefoot on grass. Listen to the rustle of leaves, or feel the warmth of the sun on your skin. These moments of connection align your body and mind with the Earth's natural frequency, clearing the clutter and restoring balance. Finally, question everything. When you see an ad, read a headline, or hear a story, ask yourself, what are they trying to make me believe? The more you question, the less control they have. This isn't paranoia, it's awareness. And awareness is the first step to freedom. The power of language. Let's dive into one of the most overlooked tools of control, language. Words aren't just sounds, they're symbols of power. Every time you speak, you're casting a spell, literally. Think about the term spelling. Why do we say we cast words? Because words create reality. Here's an example. How often do you say things like, "I can't afford it," or "I have to do this"? These aren't just statements, they're declarations. When you say, "I can't afford it," you're programming your mind to accept scarcity as your reality. When you say, "I have to," you strip yourself of agency, making yourself a victim of circumstance. Every word you speak reinforces a belief, whether it's empowering or limiting. But it's not just the words you use, it's the words they use. Consider this. The word government comes from the Latin gubernare, to control, and mens, mind. It literally means to control the mind. Look at the term mortgage. It's derived from the Latin mort, death, and gage, pledge. A death pledge. Even television breaks down into tele, distance, and vision, sight, meaning to control what you see from afar. Every word you hear, every phrase you repeat, carries hidden layers of meaning. This isn't just semantics, it's programming. And the most dangerous words are the ones we repeat mindlessly. Phrases like, life is hard, or that's just the way it is, become self-fulfilling prophecies. So how do you break free? By taking control of your language. Start replacing limiting phrases with empowering ones. Instead of, I have to, say, I choose to. Instead of, I can't afford it, ask, how can I make this possible? Each shift rewires your brain, breaking the chains of old beliefs. Remember, language isn't just communication, it's creation. When you change the words you use, you change the world you experience. Speak with intention and watch how your reality transforms. The final step, taking back your reality. Here's where it all comes together. Now that you know the tools they use to control you, fear, language, media, and subconscious programming, you have a choice. Will you continue living on autopilot, or will you take back control? Taking control starts with a radical shift in perspective. Stop waiting for someday. The system has conditioned you to believe that happiness, freedom, and success are things you'll achieve later, after you work harder, save more, or do what you're told. But here's the truth: someday doesn't exist. The only time you have is now. So how do you live freely in a world designed to keep you trapped? Start small. Take back your mornings by practicing gratitude and visualization. Instead of reaching for your phone first thing, spend a few minutes reflecting on what you're grateful for and visualizing the life you want. This sets the tone for your entire day. Next, reclaim your time. Your time is your most valuable resource, yet the system keeps you so busy that you barely have time to think. Start saying no to distractions. Limit how much time you spend consuming media and scrolling on your phone. Use that time to create, to build a life that aligns with your deepest values. And most importantly, reconnect with yourself. Spend time alone, away from the noise of the world. Journal your thoughts, meditate, or simply sit in silence. These moments of stillness are where you'll find clarity and reclaim your power. The truth is, freedom isn't something they give you, it's something you take. And the first step is realizing that the cage isn't real. The bars are made of fear, lies, and programming. And once you see them for what they are, you can walk right through them. So here's my challenge to you. Stop playing their game. Start creating your own. Because the world doesn't need more followers, it needs more creators. And you, my friend, have the power to create a reality that's truly your own. The question is, will you?